Hello there, long time no see. I've been on away all week in a place with no signal, it turns out. So that was a bit of a weird holiday, but nice. Took the kids away, did some beachside stuff. Anyway, you don't care about that. We're here to talk about a royal clan list. I was planning to do like list building for like a royal clan and then go back to like the main dwarf and mountain holds rules, just to just give you some suggestions for lists, stuff that you can think about buying, that kind of stuff. It's quite difficult to sometimes with like these newer factions to work out exactly what you can take, because like as we go on, there are some units that you can take in. I've done the Slayer Keep. There's another video for that if you want to have a look at that. But you just got to work out which units you're actually allowed to take. You can take these dwarf mercenaries in this particular list. Yeah, cool. Right. Anyway, let's go back to have a look at the Royal Clan special rules, because I think it's important to look at the special rules, because then you can start to look at what synergies there might exist. So these guys are really good when they make a follow-up move, because they get +1 strength in the next round of combat. So winning rounds of combat is really, really super important, because a follow-up is just a follow-up move. It's not a pursuit move, all right? So it's making a charge move of 3 or more, or made a follow-up move. So if you push your opponent back, you get +1 strength. So not fall back in good order. It's not a pursuit against that. It's a it's a proper you've got to make them give ground. So you've got to win, and they've got to then pass their leadership test. So it's a very weird. I don't really know how you can massively take advantage of that. You're allowed extra runes, so your characters, you can make them better. So it's kind of a bit about. It's a bit hero hammerish, really, and you get to pick an enemy model that you want to snipe off, basically. So you need to pick an enemy character that you're likely to kill in combat. You're quite limited in terms of what you can take. There's not a lot of choice, particularly. You can take an unlimited. Hammers are normally 1 per king or thane, I think, in the normal dwarf list. And Ironbreakers have become rare, as have rangers. So really in your core you've got these Royal Clan warriors, which are pretty good actually. They're a definite upgrade on normal warriors. Dwarf carts might be quite useful. I think though 0 to 1 Anvil of Doom, I think this is a double anvil kind of thing. So, and you've got to take a king or a thane, and you can take runesmiths, and you can make runesmiths battle standard bearers. But I think if you're going to do double anvil, you probably don't want to take another runesmith. So maybe double anvil and a thane as a BSB, I think might be the strat here, because then that kind of saves points rather than taking like a massively overpowered king. Although you probably might want to take a king because of shield bearers and all the rest. Anyway, dwarf and mountain holds. Oh, they've actually done it. Cool. Dwarven Royal Clan. So let's make a list. You need minimum 1 king, thane, or Thorgrim Ulexon. Now that's a good point, isn't it? Should we? Right. There is a character that you could take. There's a named character, so we're not going to take Ungrim, because he makes it a Slayer Keep basically, and there's another list I've done for that. But Thorgrim is a 250 point thane. He's quite expensive. What he does though is he makes a unit unbreakable, but it then can't move. So can't move other than to give ground, make a follow-up, or to reform. But once they've set the Grudgestone, they're unbreakable and they hate everybody. So he does make a unit like super killy. He's got a semi-decent weapon and a semi-decent... well, actually, no. He's got the Master Rune of Smiting, right? So it's D6 damage, right? Which is pretty nasty. Rune of Parrying means he's -1 to hit in combat. And then he's got a pretty decent... AP1 Armor Bane 1 isn't great, but, you know, it's okay. Coupled with his strength of 4, that makes him strength 6. So, you know, if he does get a bit of damage through on a dragon or a giant or whatever, he's gonna hit. He's gonna slap hard. So he's pretty good as a Thane, but you kind of want a BSB. My gut says double anvil is the answer. So let's make one of these the general. Yeah, and then we'll take a Thane and make the Thane a BSB. I think that's possibly the strat rather than go for a king, so you can save some points on characters. But you could go for a king as well. I don't know. We'll sort of build out the list, and so that's, I think, instinctively where my character choices are. I think for this, for like a royal clan. Let's have some royal clan warriors. They come with 16 in a box, so let's make units of 16. Might as well. Well, it's 32 in a box. Sorry, isn't there? Gromwell Great Axes. Oh, I really hate e-readers. You can't. The main problem is you can't zoom in on them. Anyway, so what weapons options do these royal clan warriors have? Well, the main thing is 0 to 1 per 1,000 may be drilled, stubborn, and veteran. So give them all 3 because it's 13 points for 3 of the best rules in the game. Like veteran, reroll at all leadership tests. Stubborn means you can. The first time you are required to take, you've lost a round of combat. Sorry. You can use Stubborn to fall back in good order, and then you can combine that with Shield Wall, which is a once per game ability, which means instead of falling back in good order, you can choose to give ground instead. So Stubborn and Shield Wall do sort of synergize quite nicely together, so you probably want to do that. And the Veteran can take Weapon or Talisman runes, and you've got standard runes of up to 75 points. Remember, you need to win rounds of combat, but not massively. It's a bit weird. Gromwell Great Axes are fantastic because they're a normal great weapon, but they have extra AP, which is just great, just for a single, just a single extra point. And obviously, you replace the shields with the Great Axes, though, so that's, Gromwell Great Axes are great, but it makes your armor save significantly worse. I don't know whether they're worth it. I know with Initiative 2 you're going to be striking last anyway. The problem is you just don't get a choice to use the shield instead of the Great Axe, so I'm not sure I want to go for that, to be honest. I do want to do that, though. So how many points do we get up to? 226. Okay, so actually... Maybe I do want 20 of those. I think I want 20 of those. And then I want... can't have Slayers. That's the wrong thing. But I know Old World Builder, they've put it in there because you might be taking a Slayer list, basically. Were Longbeards an option? I didn't think Longbeards were a core option. Oh, there they were. Sorry. Yeah. You're allowed Quarrelers as well. Quarrelers aren't great, but do I really? Actually, yeah. What I want is maybe, can I MSU that? So just to have 3 little units of 5, just to be like a bit of a speed bump to allow me to sort of choose what happens to my stuff. And do I put that back down to... Okay, so I'm missing 100 points of... How much do we... no, I'm not, actually. Because we want Rune of Battle. And let's go for... yeah, let's go for Hesitation. Should we go for Hesitation? Yeah, and let's whack that up to a nice size unit. Yeah, so the BSB can go in that unit, probably. Oh, let's give them some talisman runes. They've put 50 here. Now, that's wrong as well, by the way, because units can stand... Oh, hold on. No, it is right, isn't it? Units that are able to... Character models may spend an additional 25 points on runes. Yeah, so a champion isn't a character model for that purpose, so they don't get an extra 25 points. And standards get an extra 25 points, but apart from thingies, because they've already got it. Apart from Royal Clan Warriors, because they've already got an extra 25 points, apparently. But they should be 25 points. Anywho, so, and also, like it says, or does it say separately in Old World Builder letting you... let me just check something. I think it's... Oh, no, yeah, you can. You can have 25 points of weapon runes and 25 points of talisman runes. Right, so weapon runes. Can I have rune of -1 to hit? Parrying? No, it's 35 points. I mean, I guess that's not really worth 20 points, is it? Yeah, I mean, that's not fantastic. See, Rune of Cleaving's a bit difficult because it's good on a great weapon because you essentially make it, AP. You can make a great weapon like AP, like 4 or 5, which is pretty cool. However, if you just got single hand weapons, you've got the Gromrul weapons rule. Oh, the other thing is as well, these have Gromrul armor, which means they're re-rolling ones to save, which is like normal Dwarf Warriors don't have that, which is just fantastic. So the reason we're doing double anvil is because what we want is some of the really cool... is it Strike the Runes? Yeah. Some of the really cool effects are like Rune of Oath and Steel. So you may reroll failed armor saves, or if you get 11 or more. So these are bound spells with a power level of 3. So if you roll an 8 on the dice, you can pick a unit like Royal Dwarf Warriors who have got a 4-up save, make them have a 3-up save, and they're re-rolling all fails, which is pretty significant. So double anvil, you need to start spraying that ability around. Oops, got rid of it. So yeah. So I really rate Royal Dwarf Warriors. I think they're really good. So what else can we have? So you just need to check with Old World Builder, go backwards and forwards between it and your list, because quite often it's wrong. But I think that's a decent kind of block of... how much do I... Okay, so just to pay the tax, it's 22. That's probably okay. Yeah, that's probably okay. In fact, no, I want 19, and then can I just take 3 more of these dudes? Oh, that's annoying. Alright, let's make it 20. Oh no, talisman runes, yeah. So, like I said, we want to... He's only got 25 points. Rune of spell breaking. No. Is it warding? No. Where's the... I thought there was a rune of extra magic resistance. Obviously there's not. We've got 3 points. Let's give him move through cover. I think that move through cover is a useful ability for 5 points. I mean, it's worthwhile, isn't it? I mean, you're quite slow anyway, so you don't want to be -1 to move. Right, so that's the core stuff done. Let's have a look at the cool stuff in here. Now, I want Iron Drakes, I want an Iron Warden, and I want... these are some of the best units in the game. So we've got a Trollhammer Torpedo. Right, so how many of these can we duplicate that? And then let's duplicate that again. And then... So, the rule of 3 doesn't apply to detachments, so you can take more than 3 of a unit as long as they're detachments. Guess what I'm going to do? Let's have another... Right, now, I've just got to be careful because they can only be detached to... They can only be detachments for... duplicate that for Ironbreakers, I think. I mean, you'd want some Ironbreakers anyway because they're epic. Like in terms of like a really defensive unit. Let's do. In fact, let's do 16. He gets quick shot. Yeah, let's give him some Cinder Blast bombs because you want them to be a pain in the arse when they get charged. And he gets weapon runes again. I'm not fussed about those really. And banner runes. We can have the Master Rune of Stromney Redbeard. Any unit within the command range of which will be 9 inches. That's probably worth it actually, because if you put that in the middle of the army, then your opponent's got to deal with it. And then 235 points too many. There we go. I thought that might be the case. Right, let's not do that because we're really limited on points. Because they've made Ironbreakers bloody. Alright, let's do 10. That's 70 points too many. Right, if we get rid of all the command, what happens then? No, it's still too expensive. Okay. That idea doesn't work. Oh well. So let's just have 3 units of Iron Drakes. And then... Oh, we can only take a Bookman's card, is that right? I thought it says... oh, it's Expeditionary Force. That says... Not including... you can't take minus cards. Bloody hell. That would be the one that you'd use, though. Because, like, being able to give everything, like, stand and shoot with, like, decent stuff would be pretty cool. But, no, you're not allowed that. So Bugman's Cart gives +1 move to anything that's in range. It's probably worth it because another thing that the Anvil of Doom has, Strike the Runes. Strike the Runes is Rune of Haste and Urgency, which is again cast on a 10, so you need a 7. And this is why you got 2, because rolling a 7 on 2 dice is a bit like rolling about a 3.5 up on 1 dice. So it's slightly better odds than a 4 up, but not much. Anyway, you can make a unit move again. So if you've got drilled, obviously, you can deploy these Royal Clan Warriors in a 4x5 in a marching column. The Dwarf cart can give them +1 move, so they're now movement 4. So you can then go 12, and then Haste and Urgency, you can reform and go another 8. So you can punt your Royal Clan Warriors 20 inches across the table, which is pretty useful. You know, in combination with drilled and being able to move again is great. So... yeah. So we've got some... I don't think you need much more artillery because we've got all these Iron Drakes. I think, actually... Do you get 20 in the box? Right, we'll have a look at that. We'll price up this army as well because I want to get it so it looks pretty... I'm missing another big block of infantry. I think I need another big block. 212 points actually doesn't get you that many Ironbreakers. So let's do... I think I want a bolt thrower with the Rune of Skewering. Yeah, and let's do... do I want to stick... It's a pity I can't give it like the Rune of Magical Attacks. Master Rune else cannon. Oh, it's only cannon. Master Rune of Disguise. Oh no, hold on. What does that do? Ah! Stop it. Right. Always considered to be behind full cover. I mean, I guess -2 to hit in shooting would be okay, but like, it's toughness 6 already. I think, yeah. Shut up, you. Right. Let's have a look at what's actually what we can actually. Let's make a cart actually. Right. So Ironbreakers and whatever are 52. See, look, I was thinking about getting some of these before they re-release them, but I thought, well, actually, no, because stuff's cheaper as it's Warhammer. So, Ironbreakers, they used to be 10 for about 35 quid. So, you know, it's like 70 for 20. Now it's 52 for 20. So, you know, all this old world stuff is like big money off. But anyway, you get 20 Ironbreakers. They're also Iron Drakes, so you can model them as either. So, we're going to want that. And in fact, let's maximise value for money a little bit. Because we've got 15 here, so let's make this one 10. That works well. Let's make that one 10. Do you want to give them any standards? What are any of the standards really any use? Oh, nah, that's not really much use, is it? Rune of Fear could be interesting. Vanguard, no. No, we don't, because the thing is, these are going to be like your sacrificial units, weirdly, because they've got really good ballistic skill. They've got ballistic skill 4. They've got hold on, Drake guns. I think the Drake guns have quick shot and dwarf crafted, so they can always stand and shoot regardless of the distance the charger was away. And also dwarf crafted means they're not -1 to hit for stand and shoot, so they're really nasty when they get charged. So they're hitting you on 3s, and then there's, you know, strength 5 AP1 armor bane 1, which is pretty decent. The troll hammer torpedo is slightly different. It's still got dwarf crafted, so you don't get -1 to hit, but it can't stand and shoot if they're charging you from within their movement characteristic away. The other thing about quickshot is that you can obviously use it, so moving, no negative modifiers when you're moving. So if you move the unit and then still shoot, then the Drake guns can still fire. But yeah, I think that maximises value for money, because then we've got that box. Cool. Right, so we want some dwarf warriors. Oh, they come in big boxes, don't they? I thought there was 32 in a box, but it's not. It's 36. It's a pity you can only take them as warriors. But anyway, well, we want one of those. Yeah, go away. We also want bolt thrower. Comes 1 for 30 quid. That seems quite expensive. Goodness gracious. And everything else is all gone. Oh, they haven't released everything yet, have they? Yeah, we've only seen pictures of the other stuff. So the anvil's so £42.50. So that's another like 80 quid. Yeah, this is not going to be a cheap army, is it? Really? 27 items apparently. Oh, 27 items available. Where's my cart gone? Oh, I really hate this web store. I guess I'm gonna have to get the battalion, really. So that I've got the. Oh yeah, that was the point. Yeah, I said some thunderers or quarrelers or whatever. There we go. Let's add those in. I mean, at 100. So if you're buying this and the warrior, hold on a minute. No, because that is 2 units of 16, isn't it? So you get 36 in the warrior box. You get 32 in this box. Is that right? Have they just not ranked up some at the back? So that would be 6, 12, and then that would be 4. No, so there's another one there. So that looks like there's. You might as well just go for that, I think, money-wise, because that's like 105 quid. So it's an extra £5 for slightly fewer warriors, but a couple of gyrocopters, which obviously you can't take in royal holds, but like gyrocopters for like a couple of quid each, effectively. You might as well just do that. Right, so let's get rid of the warriors. Do we want another bolt thrower? Right, and then remember you've got to 110 bolt thrower quarrelers. Yeah, that's it so far. So it's 250 quid. Jesus, dwarves are expensive. And then we've got the cart and all the rest. So yeah, we're not even 15, 17. We're like nearly 350 quid down. Woof. What else do you want? You can take Doom Seekers, but they've got to be mercenaries. I'm quite tempted to do that. I want another like combatter unit. think I want some hammerers. I think, in fact, I want that to be 20, and I want some hammerers for the Thane to go in. And the Thane needs the Master Rune of Grungy, obviously, which gives its unit a 5 at ward, and other units that are relatively close a 6 at ward against shooting. And then this one's gone for hesitation, so this one will go for confusion. Because you can only take one Master Rune, so they could both have confusion. Can you have it? Oh, no, it's not. No, yeah, because it's only 75. Sorry, I was just thinking they've only got... actually, no, I don't want to put confusion on that. 115 points. How many points can this standard bearer have? 100. Ooh. So, hammerers, they've got... Is it that one? Oh, no, it's Royal Guard, idiot. So the Royal Guard rule is this one. Yeah. Any model in a unit of hammerers at the majority of the King of Thane. So basically, they've all got the accept and accept challenges sort of rules. The Thane also has... is it this? Hatred... Enemy characters, yeah. So it gives hatred enemy characters to hammerers. It's pretty good. Right. Okay. So I think I'm getting right. How many hammerers can you buy? Are they even out yet? Oh God, 20, but they're 52 quid. Wowzers. Right. So let's maximize that. Let's have a champion. Let's have a musician. You don't really need a champion, I guess, but it's just an extra attack, isn't it? And let's give them confusion. In fact, you can give them confusion and hesitation if you wanted to. And then the other one I can downgrade to confusion. There we go. So this is looking pretty gnarly. It's the bolt thrower, isn't it? It's taking over points. Iron Drakes are just so good. And like, you know, that's cost you 50 quid. So you might as well get the most out of it. Oh, hold on. Do we have to upgrade them still? Oh, God. Hammers still need upgrading. Shields, drills, veteran. Cool. They have their own... They have great hammers, which are those sorts of great weapons that don't have strike last, basically. But they're AP2 and they're armor bane 2 as well, so they can be really nasty. Also, they have... Is it Stoic Defenders? Yeah, so when they get charged, they're +1 initiative and attacks. So their base initiative goes up to 4, and they get 2 attacks, which is really nasty, especially with those great weapons. Initiative 4 is important because what Initiative 4 means is if you're charged by something with great weapons, you're striking simultaneously. So going into them with great weapons is not necessarily the answer either. You've got to hit them with lances, but you can't because of this. So you charge them into combat, you can't use your lances, you don't get impact hits against them, you don't get your initiative bonus for charging. So actually, you know, this is going to be a really horrible unit to deal with, because initiative 4 isn't terrible. Elves will do alright, but that's going to be pretty much a force to be reckoned with on the table. It's just a pity you can't take one as core choice, because I'd definitely take them over Royal Clan Warriors. And so the Royal Clan Warriors I gave confusion, so you just don't get your initiative bonus against them. I mean, I don't know whether that was... I mean, do we really care about that? Because they're initiative 2. Like, they're not that good. I mean, yeah, not getting your initiative bonus doesn't. It's not really going to make that much difference, really, is it? I suppose they still strike before people with great weapons. That's what we're really sort of. That's what you're doing. You're making them strike before great weapons for 30 points. Is that really worth it? Not sure. And we've not given any runes to the anvils either. Maybe 19 hammers is too many. Yeah, let's go for 15, because then at least people might actually charge it. And that's what you want people to do. So that's 400 points. With a Thane, that's 600 points. That's still a big chunk of points in one block. Yeah, that's a bit too much for me. But, yeah, let's do 15. 5 by 3. 5 by 3. Right. And then I do want the Rune of Skewering. I just want one, really. I mean, well, I say I just want one. Ideally, you'd have two, because basically it makes the bolt thrower... where are we? It makes the bolt thrower strength 7 and no armor saves against it. So, you know, and you've still got the through and through rule. So with strength 7, that's really useful. And the reason I want 2 is because if you're shooting 2, one of which might hit. Bolt throwers tend to be great on paper and just miss every single time, though. And this is ballistic skill 3. Alright, which is not great. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of it. Like, I'm talking myself out of it. The thing is, though, and this is the weird thing about this kind of list, is that I suppose we've got the Iron Drakes. The Iron Drakes will compel people to come over and deal with them, because they're a nightmare. We've got 3 units of Quarrelers just to be speed bumps, basically, just to kind of get in the way and redirect charges and that kind of thing. They're not really designed to do anything other than be like as cheap as possible a speed bump as what we can afford. And then, okay, yeah, so this is looking better. And then we've got the Dwarf Cart, which basically gives the Hammerers and the Royal Clan Warriors a +1 move, with them both being drilled. That's pretty useful. And you can make them move twice, because we've got 2 anvils. Double anvil. Anvil's not entirely used. It's not just a buff piece. Sorry, you can make your units, all friendly dwarf units, immune to psychology, which is great for because you just need a 4-up basically. So one of them is going to get that. So statistically, like rolling 4 or more on 2 dice is like, well, in fact, rolling a 2 is 1 in 36. Rolling a 3 is 2, 1, 1, 2. That's it. So there's 3 out of 30. So 1 in 12. 1 in 12. So you got 11/12 chance of success with that one, really. And then you got this Rune of Ratharoon, which again is a 9. So you need a 6 or more. That's more or less slightly better than rolling a 3-up. So they're probably going to do that. 2d6 strength 4, AP 2. So it's like the Ruby Ring of Rune, but with 2 AP, which makes it like really, really good. Magic missiles, by the way, just out of interest. The normally you get like high number of attacks, high number of hits, or high AP. High number of attacks, high strength, or high AP. So normally one of those is high, one of them is medium, one of them is low. So you might have like a high number of hits with a medium strength with a low AP. So for instance, Ruby Ring of Ruin costs Fireball, I think it's called, which is 2d6, high number of hits, strength 4, medium strength, AP 0. So that's like a pretty standard magic missile. This one, on the other hand, has a high number of attacks, high AP, and a medium strength, and also range of 27 inches, which most magic missiles seem to be around about 18 inches. Seems to be the normal range. So that 27 inches is pretty mega. So they're going to be like possibly threatening your opponent, maybe not turn 1, but these do act as like artillery pieces as well. Plus you've got 3 Trollhammer torpedoes, which are effectively like getting shot by a cannon that doesn't go through things. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Now the general, however, I want to spend some runes to make them a bit better. So the Anvil of Doom is pretty cool because it's got Ancestral Shield, so it's got a 5-up ward already. You can't give it a regen which is annoying because everybody else gets one. But anyway, the main thing is it's toughness 7 against shooting, and it's toughness 5 in combat. So really, really easily we can make that +2 toughness, which would, you know, -2 to wound, basically. It's the Rune of Fortitude, I think. Yeah. So we can take 2 of those. It's either that, or we go for something like, not that one, Master Rune of Balance. Yeah, I think we go Master Rune of Balance on this one, and Rune of Spell Breaking. How many points have we got left? 70 points. And then we go for a Rune of Spell Breaking on the other one. Actually, no. I think I've got an interesting strat here. Rune of Spell Breaking on that one. Yeah. So that one's the defensive. So Rune of Spell Breaking is like an old-fashioned like dispel scroll. So auto dispel. And they dispel as level 3 wizards, anvil. So they got the 24-inch range. Right. Okay. Cool. So I think we're more or less there. I'm pretty happy with this. So we've got some decent. One thing I always like to do is build the thing in Warhol and just put it on the table, just digitally, just to like see how it works on the tabletop, as it were. When it loads. I think 20% off Games Workshop would be very useful if you're buying dwarves, because they're bloody expensive. Right, let's create a battlefield quickly. Don't care. I'll do. Right. So we want to create a unit. We want dwarfs. This is free, by the way. This is free mode. You can go pro and stuff's better, basically. But yeah, it's a bit like oh. Could have put it on anyway. Yeah, we'll do that. Says you royal warriors. We've got some quarrelers. No command. 1 rank, and there's 6 in the frontage. The reason I've gone for 6 is because if they're hitting on 4s, that means 3 will hit, statistically. Whereas if you have 5, like sometimes it'll be 2, sometimes it'll be 3. And then if you're hitting something that's toughness 3, 2 will wound. So, you know, if you're shooting at something with toughness 3 and they're within half range and they haven't moved, then you're expecting 2 wounds, basically. It just makes maths a little bit easier if you do stuff in multiples of 6. And if you're playing a game, you want to reduce the mental load as much as possible, really. Did I make it 3 ranks? Did I make it? I can't remember how many I've bought now. 14 of those. Okay, so let's make that. And then we need to delete that and stick the thing in there. For some reason, he's gone right in the middle. I think that's probably because I put him there. Can I select him? So he needs to go there, like that. Cool. And then we've got rare Iron Drakes, 1 rank, and we've got 2 5s, and then we've got a 10. Doesn't look like much on the table, does it? So what you want really is like these actually to be like anvil pieces. You want that to be like that. You want that to be sort of there, but actually within the army. You want that to... In fact, you probably want to deploy both of these in marching column. and then these you can move and shoot with anyway, so you're not really that bothered about them. These you want to engage last, so we want to do something like that. They're the hammerers, so they want to sort of go there. And then I think that looks okay as like a starting lineup. See, what we're trying to do is with the units at the flank. So if say you've got a chaos, yeah, but fuck it. Yeah, this all. Are they rare? I'm looking for. No, they're not. A special. Dragon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Nice. So anyway, so if you've got some dragon princes coming in at you here and they fail their impetuous, well then they've got to go. In fact, there. Then they've got to go here, right? And then basically they're kind of stuck there, and you want these kind of facing at them, so that when they will delete that unit absolutely, but then if they overrun, they have to go straight this way. Which means with these guys, you can just do, basically do a reform and just do that and then shoot at them. Again, they've got quick shots, so you're not that bothered about them. So yeah, when they die, these can just go straight forwards. So you're just trying to like move stuff away, so you get another round of shooting at them, basically. I mean, but Dragon Princes, this should kill that in one round of shooting, pretty much. You need to make sure that you have given your stuff line of sight out. And in fact, yeah, another tactic you can do is you can put these like just in front of your dwarf warriors or your hammerers, just like that. So what this unit can then do is like go, I don't know, do a 3-inch like that, and just get up to there in the first turn. So then if somebody charges it like that, then they've got to overrun that way, and then they're into into these guys. Yeah, not sure you'd want to do that really. Now I've said that, but I mean a lot of this is about making sure, because again over here, like if somebody's charged into these what are they called? Crossbow dwarves, thunderers, no, quarrelers. So if somebody's charged into the quarrelers here, then again they've got to really reform, because again if they just kill that, then they just get stuck there basically, and then that gives you like another round of shooting. And if these are still alive, that gives you like another round of shooting with quite a lot of stuff going into it. And these can like, maybe you need to go back a little bit. Maybe we need to be like here, because I guess you got a spell that lets you move twice. The general I'd put near the hammerers personally, because this is your money unit, so you want your money unit there. But yeah, I mean, I think it's an okay list. I'm not massively happy with it, to be honest, but I think I don't want the Iron Drakes, but they are one of the best units in the dwarf roster, so I'm just kind of shoehorning them in. But you do need the quarrelers to like redirect stuff around the table. I mean, maybe you don't need 12, maybe you just need 2 units. But then what are you going to do? You're just going to make that unit of dwarf warriors bigger, or give some more runes? No, because you need to. No, because they're core attacks, aren't they? So you could make this dwarf warrior unit bigger. Because if you got rid of like 1 unit of quarrelers, 54. I mean, Royal Clan warriors are. How many points are they? They're 13 points each at the moment. So that's like 5, I guess. So you could make that unit 25. I mean, is it really worth it? Probably not. Do you know? And again, like, there's not a lot. Oh yeah, because that'll have So it's got the banner. It's also got the battle standard bearer in there as well. Yeah, yeah. With a 5 at ward on hammers might make them useful. Might make them stick around a bit. Oh, and I forgot about the cart. So I don't think we've got a cart yet. What was that in special? Probably not. No. I'll just put a gyrocopter down. That's the dwarf cart. Oh God, no, I don't want that many. Just the one. So we'll just pretend that this biplane, which is apparently a dwarf gyrocopter, is the gyrocopter. So that needs to go sort of there basically, because that's going to give them +1 move. Or maybe actually you want it there, so it gives all of this sort of central block +1 move, so you can start to build out. Because essentially these flanks are for, you want the stuff on the flanks to be redirecting your opponent away from the battle, right? So they have to go over there, which means they've got to turn around, and if they fail their test for restraint, so then they have to go over there, which gives you another round of shooting. That's where you want them really. And it also gives you an opportunity to, if you've got the space and the time to to reform and get stuff over there just to deal with threats, because you got a reform that's 1, but then you can move again +1 move, so 8-inch. So I think that this makes it like quite flexible, and having the 2 anvils as like kind of buff pieces that make your army a lot better. Plus also they kind of double up as pretty decent war machines. Because you imagine, this scenario's happened, right? So we've got the anvil. It manages to cast its spell. We do 7 hits that are wounding on 3s. So that's that's a poor roll. Let's go for average dice, please. All right, so we've got 5 wounds, AP 2. Dragon Prince is a 2 up save, I think. So that's 4 up. So you've just killed 2. And then we've got 6 quarrelers who have moved, so they need 6s. No, they don't hit. And then we've got the 4 Iron Drakes, which have moved, but they don't care about that. So that's 3 hit. These are wounding on 2s. They all wound. No armor bane, so just another one dead. And then we've got the Troll Hammer Torpedo, which manages to hit and wound and kills another one. So, you've got a panic test on those. Oh, look, they failed. that's unlikely though. But anyway, that's a decent-ish round of shooting that's got quite a few Dragon Princes down, if you see what I mean. And then they've got to then, reform, and, they can't then do anything. So, maybe you're going to get another... Oh, maybe you're going to get another 3 next time. They're down to their command group. What exactly are they going to do? These you'll have probably, if you can, done something like this, or as much as you can, just to mean that they've kind of got to charge both. So if they're lining up to that, they're lining up to that, and you want them so that they can't do you know what I mean? So they can't wheel round, so their wheel takes them to there. So then they have to charge these. So then again, you get 4 more shots going into combat. So that's another. Oh, in fact, that's another 2. Got lucky there. And then they've just got 1 in. So you see what I mean? Like you can gradually whittle that unit down as long as you get it over there and you get it in a position where it's got to faff around and reform and blah 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 blah. But you want them charging the Iron Drakes. That's the key unit for them to charge. And even if they get through the Iron Drakes, whatever, you've got a big unit of fairly elite dwarf warriors who are hopefully +1 to their save and re-rolling all saves. So these will be 3s re-rolling in combat. These will be 4s re-rolling in combat. and that's where you want that kind of armor rune to go. But you can also put the armor rune on Iron Drakes as well, because again, they're they've got full plate, so you could make them 3s re-rolling, and they're toughness 4 anyway, so they're pretty decent. Always remember as well that Iron Drakes have a really good ward save against flaming attacks. I think they do anyway. I've said that now. Yeah, 5-up save against flaming attacks, which is again pretty good. And quite a lot of units have flaming attacks, just sort of accidentally almost. So it's always worthwhile bearing that in mind when you're looking at your Iron Drakes. And where you're going to cast those buff spells. And I think having 2, especially with like Iron Drakes, being able to upgrade your... I mean, to be fair, Quarrelers are toughness 4 and like AP and have heavy armor, sorry. So making them 4-up re-rolling would be pretty useful anyway, especially if somebody's coming in with some like Illyrian Reavers or some light Cav or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Right, so we're up to 50 minutes for this video. This is my recommendations for a Royal Clan list. I think double anvil is the way to go. Royal Clan warriors are great. They're just pointed weirdly, so you don't want 2 units of 20 because that would be about 700 points. But you can like take some little units of Quarrelers just to sort of gum up the table a bit, just get in the way. And then we've got the Iron Drakes, where you want your opponent to be charging them, so you kind of want them to be like the first responders to a charge, like overrunning into so another thing you can do, actually, just while I've got the models out, as it were, what you can do is you can put like your Iron Drakes like there, like that, and then you put your Quarrelers like there, like that. So this is after you've moved. So you sort of deploy here and then go up 3 inches, something like that. So then what then happens is somebody then, charges in with some, some cavalry, manages to break through. It doesn't really matter what, does it? Bretonia. Yeah, that's a likely scenario. Pegasus Knights. So somebody charges in with their Pegasus Knights. You get your 4 shots with the Wasp Knots. Oh, they've all hit, and they've all wounded. That's really unlikely. And they're strength 5, so they're probably going to be fine. So that's 2 go through. Is it? Yeah, 2 go through. And 1 won't save. So 1's taken a wound. Oops, wrong way. And then the Trollhammer Torpedo. Oh, it hits for a change and wounds and doesn't save. And they do get the ward save. So then the Pegasus Knights, let's assume that we've got +1 to save and re-rolling saves. So anyway, so we got 4 attacks from the Pegasus Riders. 3 of which hit. 2 of which wound. These are AP2, so we've got 5 up re-rolling, so 1 saves, so that's 1 dead. And then we've got 6 attacks, because they get Furious Charge, I think, with the Pegasus themselves. I think probably... Oh, in fact, Iron Drakes are actually pretty elite, aren't they? I think, yeah, the weapon skill 4. Whereas... Peg Knights are, weapon skill 4, so we're hitting on 4s. Furious Charges for the Riders. Sorry. Sorry. So anyway, so we've got 2 hits with the Pegasus Knights, 1 wound, it saves. And then we've got another 3 Furious Charge attacks with the Riders, which also saves. They actually only killed 1. So they took you see what I mean? +1 save, re-rolling saves is mega. And actually those Iron Drakes, do they have stubborn or anything, Iron Drakes? They are pretty good. Dwarven Royal Clan. This is why Iron Drakes are so good, though. With an anvil, you can make them mega. Okay, I've not made them drilled because you don't really need it. You're not going to be expanding ranks. What have we got? Close order detachment, Gromwell armor, hatred, magic res 1, runes of warding, stubborn. So they've got stubborn. Resolute means you're -1 to pursue and fall back. So stubborn, we could just decide to fall back in good order, which actually you probably want to here. So we go back 3 inches. Oh, that's annoying, isn't it? That's a good point, actually, because you want them there, don't you? So then when they charge in, we fall back in good order here. We have to then pop through to here. And then these can pursue into the Thunderers. Do we actually want that, though? No, we don't, do we? No, sorry. No. I was right initially. Because so what would happen is, if these popped through, the Pegasus Knights would then charge into these quarrelers, kill the quarrelers, and then overrun back into the. So nobody gets a chance to shoot. So this isn't giving you an extra chance to shoot. In my head, though, if we hadn't had the reroll saves and they were dead, basically, this unit would then come into here. This unit would then basically be dead, and then it. Ooh, wrong button. And then these would have to like reform and pivot. But then you get your 2d6. You know, you might have even actually killed the other one, like because we had like 2 rounds of combat against. You know, what would these be? 4s and 4s. 4s and 5s, sorry. So 2 wounds, let's say. Yeah, say both. So, yeah, I mean, it's unlikely that you'd. But then you get to do a magic missile, which, you know, then we've got 10 attacks hits this time round. So that's 5 go through. AP2, so they're saving at 5s, aren't they? And then we've got 3 saves, 6s. No, so that's another. So that magic missile's taking it down to a champion, and then, you know, your opponent's got a choice. Do I just do this and preserve the victory points? That's another reason the Pegasus Knights are so good. Just as an aside, I know this is a dwarf video, but like a third of a unit isn't, you know, it's over 25%. So if you just got a champion left with Pegasus Knights, just get it out of dodge. Don't let it die. Your opponent doesn't get any victory points. Like, that's why 3 units of 3 Pegasus Knights is so good, because as soon as you're on your last model, you just, you know, naff off, and you're quick enough that you can do it. You know, because they're skirmishes anyway, so you can just go like 18 inches backwards and just avoid getting shot and just hide. You know, or play cat and mouse with like a unit of quarrelers or something and just try and get a lucky charge off. Anyway, I think I've gone on for long enough, and I've rolled some dice. We've done a bit of pricing. It's quite expensive, this list. We've had we've got hammers, we've got all the stuff in, I think, apart from the cart, the thane, and a couple of anvils. And you know, it comes to, you know, 300 quid already, and that's without the 2 anvils, which are what, 70, 80 something. So this is going to be like 450 quid for this list. So dwarves are expensive. Good value for money, but expensive. So yeah, this is my dwarf royal clan list. I hope you found the video useful. If you've liked the video, there's indeed a button to express that. What is that? Emotional reaction? Is a like? Is that an emotive thing? Do I like? Do I feel? I do feel like, don't I? Yeah. Emotion. I'll go emotion. I don't know why I decided to go off into this semantic debate. 58 minutes 30 into a video. Yeah, so if you'd like the video, do that. If you've what's the other things I need to say? It's been a week since I've done any recording. In fact, longer. If you've got this far and you've not subscribed yet, I mean, it's all me just whinging into a camera and a microphone, basically. So, you know, if you do like some middle-aged bloke whinging about Warhammer, then you know, in the background whilst you do some hobby or whatever, then subscribe for more content and all the rest. I haven't done a meta show this week because I was away, so we're going to have a bumper meta show on Monday, probably, when I get around to doing all that. Although I've been away for a week, so that means I've got a week's worth of work that's just piled up while I've been away, which is great. So yeah, it might be challenging to get me meta video out unless I do it like last thing Sunday probably. I could try that. Yes. Anyway, cool. So I've got two more videos to do on dwarves. Actually, I'm going to go back to my sort of previous the normal. See how you can use the new arcane tone to like enhance like a dwarf and mountain holds list. So I've done a Slayer Keep, I've done an expeditionary host. This is the Royal Clan. Need to go back and revisit my sort of balanced list, which I think is arguably better than this one for reasons we'll come on to in that video. I'm tempted to go double anvil in that as well because I really like double anvil. I think it's cool as hell. Anyway, I've gone on for long enough. I'm just going to say toodaloo now and let you go. Oh, comment down below. I respond to all the comments. So, if you want to chat, hi, here I am. If you don't, then don't, I guess. It's up to you. Do what you like, really. Yeah. Toodaloo.